So you mentioned earlier about how data engineering has this unique position because you're essentially serving the whole company, which is interesting because when you think about navigating politics and navigating some of the different priorities of an organization, you're kind of in this unique sort of context and viewpoint of the entire organization in those competing priorities. So I was wondering if you could talk to us just a little bit about how do you navigate some of those politics where there's different priorities, multi-stakeholders, multifunctional environments from a data engineering perspective. What's that? How do you navigate those treacherous waters?
I want to reframe it a little bit. I'm coming to terms and acceptance of that politics in the context of an organization isn't a bad word. It's just dealing with people, and it's okay. And recognizing that there are differences in power dynamics and differences in incentives and goals are that's just dealing with humans. And so politics is just how you try to accomplish things in an organization using the soft power that you have. So I don't want to frame it as a it's a very necessary thing, and framing it as something bad, I think, puts it as something that we could eventually get completely rid of. And that's not the most helpful framing, I think, because it creates an antagonistic relationship. So all of that to say, I'm coming at this from a positive thing, and I think there's a positive way to do a lot of this. Recognizing that we're all humans, coming to people with, particularly for data, I think coming to people with true empathy and understanding of look, you were hired to do a job, and you have a set of incentives and personal goals and organizational goals that you're trying to do. And the better that you, and by you I mean the person in the shoes having the conversation, or the data leader, or even the data engineer, can start to tease those out implicitly, or even just pull them out kind of explicitly, and ask questions like, what are you trying to accomplish here? Can help you build a better understanding mental model of what the other person's thinking, what we're going through, and also help you navigate that path of saying, okay, here's my goal. And this is what I do, and honestly, in a lot of life, just trying to be honest and transparent about things. Like, look, this is my goal. I have a specific goal in this, and I'm willing to waver on what the production system looks like, or the latency numbers, or whatever. Help me understand your goals and see if we can figure out a path there. And so turn it from, two people have separate problems that you're trying to butt heads against and solve, and literally put, like, here's the problem on a stool in front of us. Can we figure this out together given our shared goals and shared experience and challenges? What does that look like specifically? It starts from there, from having that conversation, and then just being very specific and documenting and generating that shared understanding of what you're trying to do. At GitLab and now at Meltano, we have a very strong documentation culture. Everything was in the handbook, and the handbook, I found, is one of the best ways to force some of those conversations where you're saying, okay, I'm going to write this down, and do we agree that this is it? Do you have suggestions or changes? And once we merge that, that's the current state of reality. We can change it, but it gives you that shared third party or external source of truth to go from. And like with anything, you have to be careful. That could be weaponized. Like the handbook could be weaponized and say, like, oh, this is what they said. But it can be a useful tool to really help those conversations.
Is there like a story or example where that just kind of highlights just how to navigate the differences in priorities, and then making then the shared goal really explicit that you can anchor us around?
So I'll go back kind of early days of GitLab. And this ties into the product analytics. I had multiple conversations with our VP of product, our CFO, and some product managers around the differing data needs. And a lot of it came back to the product managers and the VP of product. They have needs like, when can we get this data? We're dying without this. We can't make decisions without this. And me saying, these are my priorities, and this, the CFO is asking for these numbers, and this is our work in progress, and this is our backlog, and this is kind of what we have to get through. And some of it comes down to, you may have a conclusion that you already have, and the answer may be, I can't do this work for you right now. I don't have the capacity. I'm trying to make that visible via our backlog, via our issue board. And so some of it is bringing them along to the conclusion that you already have, being open to possibly changing your own mind, but saying, look, like, we can't do this. So we need, if this is really important, we have to figure out another conversation. Here's the CFO. Do you need more budget? Do you need something else? And so for me, that specifically saying, we can't do this. Here's some possibilities and potential solutions for how we could. We can hire a few more people. That's going to take a few more months. We can not do this analysis or not build this system. We can give you an approximation. Does it need to be 100% accurate, or does it need to be 80% accurate? And so once you're able to show them kind of, these are all the levers that we can pull on our end, these are the levers you can pull on kind of the financial side or the headcount side, it does make that conversation easier. And for me, my strategy is just to always just come at it with a lot of empathy and iterate back, like, yeah, you're having I understand the pressure you're under, and I want to help you solve this problem. Here's the constraints I'm under, and just try to be as collaborative as possible, because the other strategy is to play these games and to not share things and to throw people under the bus, and that's just not fun.